and salutations, my darlings. I just thought I would update you on where we're at. We got most or half the move done, and next is moving my home. And it's still a little scary, but I'm really looking forward to it. We've already met some really nice people, and I think that it's going to be a good move getting closer to Santa Fe and Albuquerque, where there's more events for us to do and a decent flea market, and hopefully somewhere that I can place the art on consignment. Well, I've already been researching that. Um, we did have to sell the S10, which I really didn't want to do because it's been in the family forever, and I get really attached to vehicles. I'm always sad when I have to sell a vehicle, especially one that's been in the family for as long as that one has. It was my cousin's, and we still call it the Derrick truck. But we found a nice little old man to buy it, and I think he'll get some use out of it. And we can't afford to have any extra vehicles right now, so we're down to the Avalanche and the car, and the car gets really good gas mileage, and the Avalanche can actually pull a trailer, which the S10 could not. So yeah, we still have to probably sell the scooter, which I'm really bummed about because I wanted the scooter for a long time, especially living out here in the middle of nowhere. But that's kind of the thing, is we've been living in the middle of nowhere, which has been, 3 hours from the nearest event, an hour from the doctor, 15 miles from the nearest gas station, 15 miles the other direction just to get to the dollar store, which is not even a grocery store. Like, yeah, it's rough living out here. And, frankly, I'm still really disappointed in Saguache County for what they're deciding to do here, and I really think it's going to bite them in the ass. Um, this whole criminalizing poverty thing is just, it's really old. Um, every time people find a way that they can live affordably, they stop it. And, rent right now, it's almost impossible to find something under $1,000 a month. And if you've got, you need a place with some room more than a studio, you're looking at 1,500. I've seen things that up for rent that are, in the thousands of dollars. That's ridiculous, especially if you're disabled and on a limited income. You can't afford to live. Like, I could barely afford to rent a room if it was just me, and it's not just me. So yeah, I think it's going to really bite Saguache County in the ass because, we did shop locally, and so did the hundreds of other people that are trying to figure out what they're going to do right now. Plus, they've shut down pretty much any means of side income. So not only do you have to live in a valley in the middle of nowhere and pay excessive amounts of rent, but you aren't allowed to have side incomes to support that. So they've made it completely unaffordable, and now they've criminalized being poor all over the country right now, but Colorado especially has done some really dumb stuff. I don't know who they think is going to do their minimum wage jobs when you can't live on minimum wage. So I imagine they're going to lose some businesses, and the businesses that do make it are still going to struggle because, yeah, we did spend our money here, even though it wasn't much. You take a couple hundred people that have to leave, and that's really going to hurt the local businesses. But that's my soapbox on Saguache County. They're not my favorite people right now. Um, they've completely killed our friends, all their side incomes. And they won't let you farm. They won't let you have a side business. They won't let you um, do anything with your property. You can't subdivide it. So you have to have 40 acres, but you can't do anything with the 40 acres. You can't have storage units. You can't. And it's just dumb all the way around. Um, but, I imagine that the people on the board who made this decision are probably all making it just fine, and it never dawned on them that other people might be struggling. and they're not my favorite people right now. They've hurt a lot of people we care about. So, yeah, okay, so we had to sell the S10, and that was a bummer. Have to sell the scooter, which is a bummer, because we're gonna have to pay our lot rent, but we're also gonna have to pay for storage for my shop until we can figure out. The shop right now is a storage unit, and we got to get everything out of there and get the shop up and running, because we're gonna have a place to work again, which is nice. I'm really looking forward to checking out their flea market, and then they've got an artisan market in Santa Fe that I'm really looking forward to too. So we're gonna have to figure out where to get into production. That's been a problem from day one, really. Where are we gonna work? And everywhere we go, we can't seem to carve out space for us to work. It's, getting all the equipment out, doing what we need to do, then putting all the equipment up, and it's, half your time is setting up and tearing down. So, yeah, and I can't really assemble in here because this is where all the animals are, and oh my god, the cat hair. I just cleaned out the cat room, which is our front dashboard has couch cushions on it, and that's where the cats hang out. And holy crap, there was like half a cat in there. It's ridiculous the amount of cat hair that they built up in there. Our black and white cat sheds a lot more than he looks like. So, but I haven't really messed with their room. So yeah, that was a surprise. And this camper or this RV, even though it's a 30-foot, it's laid out so dumb. It's one of the ones with the bathroom in the middle and narrow kitchen, and I rate everything by how many butts fit in it. And this is really a one-butt camper. Even with the animals, I'm always tripping over an animal. So I would eventually, we still want to turn this camper into our workshop, this RV, and eventually find a place of our own where we can spread out a little bit and like have a place to work, dedicated space, where this would be the workshop for the stuff that doesn't need good ventilation, and then the cargo trailer for the, because it's got all the doors we can open, so that would be for our like rock cutting equipment and the the laser cutter, and those things need more ventilation. And yeah, so this really does feel like a step forward. Um, we've been out here a year in the middle of nowhere, and before that we were staying with a friend for 7 months, and that didn't work out at all because we take up a lot of space, and yeah, we have our own way of functioning, and that's not always, it doesn't work with type A people. Don't really tolerate me really well because I am definitely not type A. I'm a creative, and my brain does not work like other people. I wish it did sometimes, but it is what it is. So what else? So yeah, we're moving up by Santa Fe. That's really exciting. It's a really pretty area for sure. I haven't spent a lot of time in Santa Fe and Albuquerque, and that's been kind of a surprise to me because I grew up in the Four Corners area, so between my hometown, which I always joke is almost Utah, Colorado, and Farmington, New Mexico, which is right near the Four Corners. So growing up, Santa Fe and Albuquerque were the big city, and then come to find out that they're not even that big, comparatively, not compared to Denver and Colorado Springs. They're not that big at all. And really, Santa Fe is pretty small. It's more like the size of Grand Junction, which is one of the places we used to have to shop. And it's going to be really interesting to be within 25 miles of an actual grocery store and to have some choices again. Haven't had a lot of choices. Like living like this, you have to take what you can get. And, we can't always go to the store an hour away. We haven't even been able to get a storage unit because the nearest storage units that are available are like an hour away. I've tried to get one locally, and they're available for about 5 minutes and then they're taken. And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of changes that are going to be made, even though we're going to still be in a small town. Seems like a nice town with a lot of nice people in it, though, and a lot of culture and a lot of history, which are definitely my things. I can't wait to explore the area. So, yeah, we should be up there. At least my RV should be up there next week. And then we figure out what we do from there as far as how we're going to work. But the lady we're staying with is really, really nice, and she's been really helpful. And she even connected me with a gallery on the art, and the gallery could not help me sell the art, but at least they were the only one out of, at least, I swear I've sent 50 emails to people, and nobody's even bothered to respond because the art world is very snobby. And they explained to me that the certificates that come with the art hold no weight in the art world. Um, they're basically the QVC of the art world. So, yeah, it's Temu art. So that kind of stinks, but I'll still be able to sell it, just not for what ChatGPT lied to me and said I could. But ChatGPT and I are not speaking anymore. It lies to you all the time, and so I stopped using it because I'm tired of it. It wasn't just the art; it was some other things I valued. Um, Especially when it comes to values, it's always way off, and I don't like being lied to by anybody, even a computer, especially a computer. And yeah, ChatGPT is, I mean, I've used it mostly for like editing. I consider it my personal assistant, and it helps me, like, a lot of times I'll have it generate the base position and then I draw it myself. And I've been working on a lot more art lately, and even then it's definitely not worth paying for, and I was paying for it, but it doesn't even generate what you want it to generate anymore, and it's just a constant battle. Um, Even when I send it exactly what I want, it can't generate it. So, yeah, ChatGPT is a waste of money and time. My new computer came with built-in AI. AI is everywhere now. And I've had a lot of people tell me, oh, I hate AI, and then I find out that they really haven't even used it. They just hate what it is. They hate the idea of it, and that's understandable. But I've definitely found it useful, but it's also lied to me about everything. And, you definitely don't want to trust it to tell you if you have a good idea or not, because it thinks every idea is a good idea, and then I try to implement it, and nobody else thinks it's a good idea. So, yeah, I think ChatGPT and I are no longer speaking, and I definitely am not going to be paying to be lied to and to have it ignore every request I make and generate. The other day, one of the last generations I did when I gave up on it, I was trying to do, I think it was the spiral staircase. I was doing a spiral staircase art, and I needed a base to go from. And it generated a random fantasy fairy. When I was asking for black and white line art spiral staircase, it generated a full color fantasy fairy scene. And I don't even know where that came from. Like, it wasn't even something I've asked it to do. Pig! That was rude. No, you can't get up there. Sorry, the cats are really, really bent out of shape because I've got piles of stuff everywhere and they can't get to their favorite spots. And, yeah. So, Pig is being naughty. He also got out today and he's all filthy again. He goes out and rolls in the dirt. So right now the RV's not starting because it hasn't been started up in a while. So Tom's working on that. And he'll be glad when we get everything up there, because a lot of, a lot of the work, harder work, has fallen on him. I've been sick a lot. Winters are so hard on me. Um, so I've been sick a lot and sleeping a lot more than normal. So he's had to do all the man stuff, changing out tires and getting vehicles running, or getting this thing running, and having to sell the S10. I mean, I sold it, but that was a bummer. We were really bummed about selling the S10, but we really love the Avalanche. It's a really good truck. It's the nicest truck I've ever owned. It's even got seat heaters, so it's got a butt warmer, and I do rather enjoy that on a cold day. But I'm looking forward to getting out of the cold. We all are. And then we're looking at some land. They've got some semi-affordable land where you can live in an RV in New Mexico. So they have not criminalized poverty there yet. Hopefully they don't get around to it too. Or there's just not going to be any place for poor people to live anymore. They've limited every angle you can come at when you're trying to save money, as far as how many people can live in a house, what you can do in a house, what vehicles you can have parked outside. Yeah, I'm not an HOA person. So, yeah, that's where we're at. We're getting ready to head to New Mexico, and I'm going to be a New Mexico resident again, which I have to take the stupid DUI class again. They have a mandatory DUI class. I've never had a DUI, but that's just required to get a license in New Mexico, and I took mine 28 years ago, and apparently it doesn't count, so I have to take this stupid class again, and it's expensive. So yeah, I guess I'm going to be a New Mexico resident again, which I never saw coming. I haven't lived there since my youngest was, I think she was about 2 when we left. And she's, what are you now, 27? So yeah, I left New Mexico a long time ago and never thought I'd go back. But at this point, New Mexico is a lot more welcoming than Colorado, and especially Saguache County, and Saguache County doesn't have anything to offer. So yeah, but I'm excited, and I can't wait to get back to work, and I think we'll be able to find a place to work there. Like I said, this lady that we're going to be renting from is really, really nice, and she's been really helpful so far. She got me more answers on the art than anybody has been able to do so far, so that's really cool. And there's a bunch of places where I can put it on consignment, so I'm just going to have to lower my prices down and consign it and get what I can out of it. Oh, this month's nails. I do my nails once a month, and this is my February. This was a pain in the butt. See, that is tissue paper, hand drawn and cut out, because I hand drew these, but I couldn't get them right on my non-dominant hand, so, or with my non-dominant hand. So yeah, that's my February celebration this month. Anyway, I'm looking at some consignment places, and there's a few of them, so hopefully I can get some art sold, get that art sold, so that we can clear out the space, so that we can get back to work. That's the plan. I'm still freaked out about the move, but it is what it is, right? And hopefully we can save up and buy land. And when I say affordable land, I'm talking like under $10,000 for an acre, couple acres, and they don't have as many restrictions. So I guess getting solar is first on the list, and getting an incinerating toilet, and then buying some land that we can actually be set on, that's our land, that we can actually set up a workplace, and save up to get a nicer place an actual house eventually, maybe. Build a house, I don't know. We shall see on that. But first of all, we got to get back to work and get that cash flow. Get that cash flow. It's all about money. It's kind of a bummer. But I just wanted you guys to know where I was, what's going on, where we're headed, and that I love you. And I want you to take care of yourselves. And I will catch you up. I haven't been able to do videos because I've been busy and I've been in a lot of pain and not feeling well at all. So I don't know when the next video will be, but probably after we get up there. So, or down there, or I guess altitude-wise it's down. It's a lot warmer there. That's exciting. Anyway, yep, that's it. Love you.